Hello friends, welcome to WebDriver tutorial. In my last video, I have covered introduction to Selenium and its various components. In this video, we are going to see WebDriver tutorial, its workflow and its configuration. What is today's takeaway? We are going to see working of Selenium WebDriver, installation configuration of Selenium WebDriver, in which we are going to see what are the software tools required to be installed and configured with Selenium WebDriver. Then we are going to do hands-on by writing our first test script in Selenium WebDriver. So let's get started. Working of Selenium WebDriver. The first component is Selenium client and WebDriver language binding. In order to create script that interacts with the Selenium server, we need language specific drivers. So basically it means that we need language specific libraries so that the browser can interact or communicate with the test script. What is Selenium server? Selenium server is nothing but a standalone file or executable file which are present on the browser. So Selenium server receives the request from the test script and they send that request to the browser for execution. The client driver converts every statement or every action or every command of the script into HTTP request format, and this HTTP request is then sent to browser driver. Let's see what is browser driver. It is a second component of our Selenium WebDriver workflow. See, the thing is that each browser, whether it is Chrome, Mozilla or IE, each have their own browser driver. For example, the Mozilla have Gecko driver, the Chrome has Chrome driver, IE has IE driver. So each have their own browser driver. And each browser driver have its own HTTP server. This is what we were saying Selenium server. So each Selenium server is present in the browser driver and browser driver are present in the browser. So what basically happens is the browser driver uses this HTTP server to receive the HTTP request from the test script. Then it will pass this request to the real browser, that is actual browser like Chrome on which the action is to be performed. So the browser, the third component, the commands are then executed on the browser. So it will receive the request from the browser driver and will execute the script on the actual application under test. There's one thing to be noticed, that if the request is a GET request, then the response will be generated at the browser end and it will send the HTTP response back to the browser driver and the browser driver will send that response back to the test script. But if it is an POST request, then no action will be performed on the browser in terms of response. Let's see the installation of software tools required for Selenium WebDriver. First is to download Java. We need to install latest version of Java Development Kit. We are going to use Java programming language in order to automate in Selenium WebDriver. So we need its library in order to start with the scripting. So this is a link for downloading Java. So you can find this link in the description box below. Java 8+ version is preferred. So let's download Java. We're going to click on the link is going to open and we have the latest version, that is Java 10. So let's click on Java 10. Okay, so based on your system requirement, you need to download the corresponding Java file. Since I'm using Windows operating system and it is 32-bit system, I cannot use this Windows 64-bit file for Java. So I need to download a lower version than Java 10 so that I can use Java in my system. So let's see if I have the Windows 32-bit file for Java 8. So this is Java 8. Let's see, we need to download JDK. So in JDK, yes, I have the Windows 86. Yes, I have the 32-bit file available for Windows. So we have two different versions of this. So I'm going to use the latest version in 8 as well, 172. So first you need to accept the license agreement and then click on the required corresponding Java file that you want to install for your system. So I'm going to go for Windows 32-bit. And it started to download. So the file is downloaded. Let's run the file. It's preparing to install. Just click on next and OK. So it's installing Java. So it is successfully installed. Just close it. So let's see the destination where it is installed. So by default, the location is the program files. So we have Java here and we have both JDK and JRE. So after installing Java, we need to install Eclipse IDE for Selenium WebDriver. So below is the link. Let's click on the link to install Eclipse. We are going to select Eclipse IDE for Java EE developers. And we are going to select the operating system and the bit based on our system requirements. So mine is Windows and 32-bit. So I'm going to download this. So it's downloading here. So the download is complete. Let's open the zip file. So we have the Eclipse here. We need to unzip the file. So I'm using 7-zip file. So extract files, extract to this. Okay. So it is extracting. Let's open this folder. So we can see different types of file. We have the Eclipse installation application file here. We are going to double click to install Eclipse. So this is a workspace launcher pop-up box. This is a default location for your workspace. You can use this default value or you can specify your own path where you want to store all your Java projects and files. So I'm going to use the default workspace. So I have clicked on launch and it will launch the Eclipse after installing successfully. So the Eclipse is launched and this is a default page that opens when you launch the Eclipse. So we are done with the installation of Eclipse. So after installing Eclipse, we need to install Selenium Java client drivers. As we have already seen, we need language binding drivers so that the test script can communicate with the Selenium server. So this is a link. So this is the official Selenium portal where you can see the latest version of the Selenium being released and you can get all the Selenium client drivers required for your project or for your IDE on this link. So we have Java, we have C#. So since we are going to use Java language, I'm going to download this file. So just click on download. This is the latest version here, 3.12.0. So clicking on the download, the file is downloaded. So the file is downloaded. Let's open the file. First we need to unzip the file. So we are extracting the files. So these are the files that we require in order to use Selenium for our automation in Eclipse. Earlier, the name of the files were Selenium Server Standalone jar file or Selenium Server file, but they have renamed those files to Client Combined files. So after downloading Selenium Java Client Driver, we need to download browser-specific drivers. For Firefox, prior to version Selenium 3, we did not require to download any drivers Because it came inbuilt with the Selenium jar files. Selenium jar files are the files that we downloaded previously, that is Selenium client driver files. So the Selenium client driver file had the browser driver as well. But from Selenium 3, we need to download the browser driver file separately. So we need Gecko driver for Firefox browser. We need to get the Chrome driver and IE driver executable file for Chrome and IE browser respectively. So this is the link. Let's download the browser specific drivers. So we need to come down along this page. We can see various drivers available for Selenium. So based on what browser you're going to use, you need to download that specific driver. So since I mostly use Google Chrome and Firefox, I'm going to download both the drivers. So let's click on the latest link for downloading Firefox. So based on your system requirement, you need to download the file. So mine is Windows 32. Okay, the download is completed. So I'm going to download the Google Chrome. So the latest version is 2.38 and we have here Google driver Windows 32. If your system is 64, you can download this file because it will work for 64 as well. So you don't need to get confused. So the download is complete. Let's open this file and extract them because these are downloaded as zip files. So first we have our Gecko driver here. We need to extract this file. Okay, the extraction is done. We have the file here. Then so how this driver are used for launching the browser, we will see in our hands-on section where we are going to use this browser to launch our application. We are done with the installation of Selenium WebDriver. Let's see the configuration of Selenium WebDriver. For that, first we need to configure Eclipse IDE with Selenium WebDriver. In this, we will create project, then we will navigate to build path, where we are going to configure the build path by adding external jar files. So basically, we are adding libraries or Selenium jar files to our project. So let's add the jar files to Eclipse. So this is the welcome page of Eclipse. Let's open our new project. So by clicking File, New Project. And this you're going to select New Java Project and then click on Next. So you need to enter the name of your project. So I'm going to enter Basic Selenium. So the project name should start with caps. The location where you want to store your project details, I have used the default location. And then the JRE version you want to select, from the drop down you can select any version. So by default I'm selecting this one, 1.8, and then we are going to click on Finish, and it is building the project. So once the project is created, we are going to right click it and we are going to go to Build Path, where we are going to configure Build Path. In that we are going to click on the libraries, where we are going to add external jar files. In this you need to know where you have stored your jar files. So my Selenium jar files are stored here. These are the jar files. So I'm going to select these two jar files and I'm going to click on Open. So these are added. We are going to click again on the external jar folder. We need to add the other libraries as well, which are under the lib folder. So select all, click on Open, and we have added the jar files. So basically you need to add all the jar files which are under the lib as well as which are outside the lib folder. Click on Apply, then click on Apply and Close. So now when you open this, you are able to see the jar files that you have added recently under the reference library. So this way we have configured the Eclipse with the Selenium. So next we need to configure Firebug. This is the link. So we are going to open the link to add Firebug, click on Add to Firefox, install, and it is installed successfully. You can see the bug symbol or bug icon on the toolbar, which verifies that Firebug is installed successfully. Next, we need to configure Firepath. What is the difference between Firebug and Firepath? Both are the add-ons to the Firefox browser. Both can be used to inspect and generate XPath to the web element on the application under test. Firepath is the extension to the Firebug by providing us with the development kit. The only difference between Firepath and Firebug is that Firepath provides us with the relative XPath of the web element, whereas Firebug provides us with the absolute XPath. In my XPath tutorial, I have covered what is absolute and relative XPath in detail with example. Please refer to my XPath tutorial for the same. Let's click on this link and add Firepath add-on to our Firefox browser. Before downloading Firepath, there is one important point that I like to cover. That is the version of Firefox. Firebug and Firepath are compatible with Firefox version 54 and below. From Firefox version 56 and above, these add-ons are no longer maintained. The alternative to this tool is Firefox Dev Tool, in which we have the option of Inspect Element. So using Inspect Element, we can locate web elements on the application. If you are a beginner, my suggestion would be to follow 3 steps. Step 1, to start with Firefox version 54 and configure Firebug and Firepath in your browser. This will help you to understand the locators concept. Once you get comfortable with the concept, you can move to step 2, which is to use Inspect Element option but with the browser Chrome, not Firefox. Inspect Element works similar in both the browser, whether it is Chrome or Firefox. By following step 1 and 2, you are able to achieve the experience in both Firefox and Chrome browser, and you're able to locate the web element without the add-ons and with the add-ons. In this way, you achieve full coverage in understanding the concept and in having hands-on experience. Finally, step 3, which is optional. You can upgrade your Firefox browser to higher version and use Inspect Element option. Let's add Firepath to Firefox. Click on install. It needs to restart your Firefox so that it can get installed. The shortcut key is F12 in order to see the Firepath and your Firebug. So yes, the Firepath is here. We are done with the configuration of Selenium WebDriver. Let's start with our first test script. The step for writing the test script is to first create a Java project, then add the libraries. We are done with the creation of the project, which we named as Basic Selenium. We are done with the adding Selenium jar files. Next is creating classes and writing our test script. Let's get started. So we have created the project. Let's create new package. So new package. We are going to name the package as hands-on Selenium. So the package name always starts with the small letter. So we want to create the package. Click on finish. So our package is created. Right click on the package name and you need to go to class. So name your class. It always starts with caps. So our class name will be first Selenium program. Okay, it's public. Then you want the program having public static void main. So we have selected that checkbox. Click on finish. And we have our package and our class with a static void main, which is auto generated since we selected the checkbox. I'm going to write a simple program which will involve launching of a browser, opening of a URL and closing of the browser. So let's get started. First we need to create an object of WebDriver. So WebDriver, object name is driver, As you can see, I am getting an error message here because I have not imported any of the libraries. So let's import library. It is always the second statement after the package import org. So remember this library. This is a library that we are going to use for Selenium. So first we need to include the Firefox because I'm going to use Firefox browser for this script. Double click, it is added. I also need to import the WebDriver. So double click, it is adding WebDriver. So the error message is gone. Now we are going to create a method in which we are going to perform launch browser action. Let's initialize our driver object. Driver equals to new Firefox driver. Since we are going to use Firefox browser, we need to initialize the driver to Firefox driver. This will launch the Firefox browser in safe mode. Once we have initialized our driver object, we need to set the path for the driver so that system can find the driver and with the help of driver it can launch the browser. So in order to set the path of the driver, we use system.setProperty method. Yes. So the key will be webdriver.gecko.driver. The key will be different for different browsers. Here we need to specify the path where your Gecko driver application or executable file is stored. So mine is stored under download folder. So I'm going to copy this location and paste it here. After this, I need to mention the absolute path. So I need to mention the application name as well. So gecko driver.exe file. This completes our location. So once we have set the path for the driver and initialize the driver object, the next thing I want to do is to set the size of the browser window to max. We can achieve that using driver.manage.window because we want to set the size of the window to max size, so maximize. This sets the browser window to maximum size once the browser is launched. Then we need to enter the URL of the application that we want to launch or that we want to test. So we are going to use driver.get. I am going to enter the application URL. I am going to use Facebook application .facebook.com. You can just copy and enter the URL as well. Next, I will add implicit wait so that my application loads completely before performing any action. So driver.manage.timeouts.implicit wait. You can enter the amount of time that you want the application to wait before it is loaded completely. You want the browser to wait before the application loads completely. So you are going to enter 45 seconds. So here you need to specify the unit, whether it is second or minute. So I'm going to use seconds and I'm going to make the implicit wait of 45 seconds. So this completes our launching of browser. The next action that I want to perform on the browser is closing the browser. So public void close browser. So this is the method that I'm going to write for closing the browser. It's very simple, driver.close, just that. Now in main method we need to create object of class in order to call the methods. So we have created the object. Now we need to call the methods. Close browser, launch browser. So this completes our program. Let's run our program. Don't worry about the red messages, they are just the warning. Firefox browser is launched. It is expanded to its maximum size. Facebook website is launched and the browser is closed. So we have successfully written our first test script and achieved our output. So this completes our WebDriver tutorial, installation and working of WebDriver. Thank you for watching this video. Please do like and share my video and check out my videos on locators and XPath. Thank you.